Many were surprised or taken off guard when the Oklahoma City Thunder decided to select another guard with their 6th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft. But 6'8" guard Josh Giddey, I think, is a great pick for the Oklahoma City Thunder and has the potential to be a very good player in the league and with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So today I want to talk about what I think Josh Giddey could do for this Oklahoma City team next year, as well as moving forward throughout his career. So let's talk about Josh Giddey. He is a 6'8" guard. But notice the fact that he is 6'8". So even though he is a guard, he doesn't necessarily have to take up a spot of SGA or of Lou Dort. He can positionally and on the defensive end play the 3 spot if he can start to put on a little bit more muscle and adapt to defending NBA wings. That won't be a seamless transition, but that's probably where he'll start if they do want to start him, which I suspect they will, and where the long-term fit is for him as well. As well, when you look at this OKC team, the small forward spot was where they were weakest in terms of their perimeter and their wings, as far as who was going to be potentially starting for them. Poku, of course, is someone who could start at that small forward spot as well, and then maybe Josh Giddey comes off of the bench. That is an option as well. Either or, there are a lot of options here for OKC, and Josh Giddey gives them a lot more options and gives them a type of player that they don't really have yet. And here's what I mean by this. SGA is a solid player. He's a good scorer. He has a lot of potential on the defensive end with his length, but isn't the best playmaker. Now, he's not a bad playmaker, don't get me wrong. SGA is a solid playmaker, but he's not like a top 10 playmaker in the league type potential guy. Like, he's going to be, he averaged 6 assists per game last year, right? And that was him as the primary ball handler. That was his thing. I think that's probably about as high as he gets, is 6 or 7. The eye test will tell you that he is more naturally a scorer and a defender with playmaking ability, but not necessarily as your primary playmaker. You can argue that, but that's how I view SGA. Josh Giddey, on the other hand, I think is a true point guard or point forward, however you want him to line up positionally, or whatever you want to call it. He is a playmaker. I very much believe in that. This is someone who in his 28 games in Australia last year put up 7.5 assists per game, over a steal a game, and over 7 rebounds per game. His scoring is not the most poised or primed that you would like it to be yet, especially from deep, but he is a very good playmaker. He is a very good rebounder, and at 6'8", he has the length to develop into someone that could definitely be a threat in the league. Now, 6'8", Australian point guard, not a great shooter, very good playmaker. If anyone's starting to get Ben Simmons vibes right now, yeah, probably fair, because there is a lot statistically, athletically, and even skill-wise entering the league that just has a lot of comparisons to Ben Simmons. That speaks to the talent in this draft, by the way. Ben Simmons type player going 6th overall. That being said, he did shoot about 29% from deep last year in Australia, which is miles better than anything Ben Simmons has ever shot, or relatively near shot in his pro career. And so I don't doubt that Giddey can definitely become a better shooter than Ben Simmons. Whether he's going to have the same defensive impact, that remains to be seen. That is definitely part of his game that he will need to work on. But nonetheless, a playmaker, a rebounder, someone with a lot of length, that I think is something that you can definitely look at. Some of the comparisons that have been thrown around is players like Joe Ingles, LaMelo Ball. I don't think those are completely outrageous by any stretch. Very good playmakers, unselfish, good rebounders, potentially develop into decent defenders if they can figure it out. I think that's what you're getting in Josh Giddey. Now, is he going to be better than Josh Ingles? Is he going to be as good as LaMelo Ball? That remains to be seen. But the point being is that Josh Giddey fills a role on this OKC team that doesn't necessarily have it yet, and that's an elite playmaking player. Whether that's as a guard, as a forward, it doesn't matter. We are so positionalist in today's game, I wouldn't give that too much thought. What of the matter is Josh Giddey is either going to start or probably be a 6th man for this team next year. Going to be very valuable for them moving forward, and will probably be their primary playmaker and ball handler when he is on the court. His improvement on the defensive end and in his scoring ability, specifically from deep and finishing at the rim, attacking the rim, is what will determine his ceiling. But next year he will either start or be a 6th man, play 25, 30 plus minutes a night, play a significant role, will start to show his flashes as a playmaker, be a fairly good rebounder, and hopefully long-term can develop into a player who can develop a three-point shot. I don't think Josh Giddey's ever going to be an elite three-point shooter or someone who's averaging 20 plus a night. That's just me personally. If you guys feel differently, let me know down in the comment section. I'm very curious to see what you guys think about Josh Giddey as a prospect and as a player. But I think he's someone who can average 15 to 18 a night, who can be a decent three-point shooter, who can attack the rim, and can be a very good playmaker for you. I think that's where I kind of put Josh Giddey at long-term, and that's by no means anything negative. That's a heck of an NBA player when you're 6'8", as a guard who can play make. That's pretty darn good. And so I think there's a lot to like about Josh Giddey moving forward. I think he has a lot of potential with this OKC team. But as I said, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of Josh Giddey moving forward with this Oklahoma City team as they continue to acquire very promising young players. With that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to hear my thoughts on other rookies and young players entering into next season, be sure to click the box on the right-hand side of the screen. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one.